What's up, everybody? Welcome to Game Freak. And today's episode is, I believe, a unique episode because I've never seen anyone make a video what I'm about to do. Maybe there have been, but I've never personally seen one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some games off of these Evercade cartridges. Now, Evercade, they color code all their cases. All the purple cases are arcade versions of the game. Now, all these games on here, like I said, they're all licensed arcade versions. Some of them made it to another console, like the Nintendo, which I'm going to compare with these games. Other games just never made it to a console. So it's pretty cool that Evercade ended up getting the rights to and the license to put them on these cartridges. So I'm going to compare some of the games, not a whole lot. I'll probably put some like 30-second clips just to compare the two, just so you can see how great the Evercade is. I mean, it's fucking awesome, man. I couldn't recommend this console enough. I couldn't recommend the handheld enough. But I'm going to put 30-second clips of some of these games on, and I'm going to compare it to the NES version. And I'm not ripping on the NES. I love the NES. In fact, it was a mind fucking changing time of my life when the Nintendo came out. I mean, I grew up on Atari, and I still love Atari, but when Nintendo came out, man, we thought we were getting arcade. Yeah, we weren't getting arcade. We got a good system, but it wasn't arcade, not even close. So I'm going to show you some of these games, and like I said, there's tons of arcade games on just these 3 carts, but I'm not going to go through them because it'll take forever. So I'm going to take about 5 or 6 of them, somewhere around there, and I'm going to compare the two. And I want you to see just how awesome this Evercade system is and how great it looks. So let's take a look. The first game we're going to look at is Bad Dudes. Now this is the Nintendo version. As you can see, it's a little bit choppy, like the way he walks and everything. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's almost like he's walking in sections or something. I don't know. I loved the arcade game, and I couldn't wait to get this game on the Nintendo, and to be honest, it just disappointed me. It was nowhere near the arcade. So here's Bad Dudes on the Evercade. This is the licensed arcade version. So this is the arcade version. So this was like a dream come true for me, personally. I mean, Bad Dudes ain't like a great game or anything, but it was great at the time. And having this version in my house where I can play it whenever I want, it was just awesome. Or is awesome. But here's Double Dragon 2 on the Nintendo. This game really wasn't that bad, but it looked nothing like the arcade version. The arcade version was just a blast. I mean, I wasted so much money on that fucking game, me and my friends. I mean, we'd play that all the time. This game did get played on my NES. I still play it once in a while, but it's nowhere near like the arcade version. And this right here is the Evercade version of Double Dragon 2. You can see it's like night and day when it comes to graphics anyway. But then again, you know, this is the arcade version. So another cool game to have where I can play it anytime I want, right here in my house, or if I want to take it with me on my EXP handheld, I can take it. I mean, this is pretty badass. It's a really cool thing to have. Now this is Double Dragon 3 on the NES. The NES, they added some things that weren't in the arcade. I don't remember this part at the beginning here in the arcade at all. Maybe I'm missing something because, you know, I have the Evercade version, which is the licensed arcade version, and this scene is not in the game at all. So Nintendo tried.
But this is the real deal right here. Right here. This is Double Dragon 3 on the Evercade. So I can't stress it enough. This is the arcade version. It's the licensed arcade version. I'm going to quit saying that. All these games on the Evercade that I'm going to show you right now are all arcade versions. So this is just a huge, huge difference. I mean, the controlling on the NES Double Dragon 3, it sucks. I mean, I couldn't stand it. And I was very skeptical playing it on the Evercade, but I ended up liking it. So here is a game I'm not a big fan of. A lot of people are. This is Burger Time, and this is the NES version. I know a lot of people even liked it on Atari. I thought it was just a boring game. It's not really for me. There's a little bit of difference on the Evercade version, which is right here. It's a little more clear, I guess. It's not so blurry and it's a little more defined, I guess. But I'm just not a big fan of Burger Time. I know it's like a cult classic and people love it, but it's just not a game for me. It's nothing that I could really get into. I didn't think it was really that fun. It got kind of boring to me. This next game, though, Commando. This is the NES version. I absolutely loved Commando. And I did notice the Nintendo version is a whole hell of a lot easier than the Evercade version. Now, Commando on the Evercade is not on a cartridge. This is on the EXP, and this is built in. And this version, the arcade version, is so much harder. I mean, I can't believe how many times I died filming this. It's hard, but it's one of my favorite games. I don't like easy games. I want a challenge, and this is definitely a challenge. I just love this game. I have a blast playing it, even though I suck at it. I'm really good at the Nintendo version, but not this. Alright, so there you go. I think it's a pretty cool little comparison when you see them side by side. Well, not really side by side, but clip by clip. There's a really big difference. So go out there and get yourself an Evercade, man. You won't regret it. I love it. I've actually been playing it more than my PS5, and I love my PS5. So I highly recommend getting yourself an Evercade. You'll have a blast, especially if you love them retro arcade games like I do. So thanks for joining me and watching. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, game on.